The 10 o'clock news starts right now on Fox Carolina, the local station.
He cared about everyone else's safety over his.
I think that's just a tremendous act of courage and selflessness.
He's the first and foremost hero, as far as I'm concerned.
A hero. Riley Howe gave his life saving others from a gunman on UNCC's campus. And Riley's from right here, from the Western Carolinas. Tonight, we're hearing from those who knew and loved him most. It was standing room only at a vigil to honor those victims, the 2 killed and 4 others wounded in the attack. We have live coverage on how they're being honored tonight in Charlotte. And the accused gunman will have his first appearance in court tomorrow. The latest on this heinous crime coming up.
21-year-old Riley Howell is being called a hero tonight.
The UNC Charlotte student was killed as he tried to stop the gunman who opened fire on their last day of class. He grew up in Waynesville and went to school in Buncombe County.
And police say anyone in an active shooter incident really has 3 options: to run, to hide, or fight. And Riley, who you see right there, chose the last one.
A true hero, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. I'm Cody Alcorn.
And I'm Diana Watson, and we do thank you for joining us tonight as we remember those killed in a school shooting last night in Charlotte. Riley was one of 2 killed. 4 others were hurt when a suspect opened fire inside a building on the University of North Carolina's Charlotte campus.
Officers arrested that shooter within minutes. 22-year-old history major Tristan Andrew Terrell. Thanks to Riley, he took him down, and that gave cops the chance to get him in custody. This guy's now charged with 4 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of murder.
And police say there are still so many unanswered questions about the suspect's motives, but the one thing they do know is they consider Riley Howell a hero.
But for his work, the assailant may not have been disarmed. Unfortunately, he gave his life in the process. But his sacrifice saved lives.
These are the 2 pictures that really matter tonight. The 2 killed by the hands of that gunman. 4 other students are recovering, 3 of them in critical condition at this hour. Most of them are from North Carolina. One of those students who is recovering from Saudi Arabia.
And 19-year-old Ellis Parlier, who is from Midland, North Carolina. You see him there on the right. 21-year-old Riley Howell was a 2016 graduate of T.C. Robertson High School in Buncombe County. And Howell's family sent us this statement talking about Riley's death, saying in part, quote, "You knew when he walked in the room as that wide smile arrived first on his tall and sturdy frame. At 21 years old, Riley Howell was a big kid who loved life, his family, and his soulmate, Lauren. He was everyone's protector, always standing up for what he believed in and lending a strong back to those in need."
Since Riley's name has been released, people who knew him are speaking out about the impact he left behind on everyone he knew. You can see some of the quotes here. Right.
You can see how he's being described, that 21-year-old, in so many different ways.
Bright, independent, lived life in service of others.
And one that's repeated in really all of this testimony is his infectious smile.
And almost every statement, the people who knew Riley remember him as someone who always had a smile on his face.
And we spoke with Representative Brian Turner. He represents the area where Riley went to high school and says it really seems like yesterday's actions were in line with how Riley lived his life.
From all accounts, it sounds like his actions yesterday were in line with how he lived his life and how he grew up. And so I think if we remember this sacrifice and remember all the good times, all the friendships and love that he shared for his family.
And Fox Carolina's Brooklyn Cromer talked to Riley Howell's girlfriend's family this evening. She's live in Asheville tonight.
That's right. In Brooklyn, I can't even imagine what they're going through. Tell us more about your conversation with them.
Well, her dad tells me that she's absolutely heartbroken, as you can imagine. But he says what's getting her through this is knowing that his heroic actions helped save other people's lives.
He was close. We loved him. He was a good person to my daughter.
Kevin Westmoreland says Riley Howell was part of their family. His daughter Lauren had been dating him since the two were in high school at T.C. Robertson in Asheville. Both were just finishing their junior years in college when the unthinkable happened.
He just wouldn't let anything happen to anybody that he cared about.
Police say Riley saved his classmates' lives on Monday when a shooter opened fire on his classroom at UNC Charlotte. And instead of running and hiding, he jumped in and fought him off, losing his life to save others. Those who knew him say that's just the type of person he was.
To hear that he did what he did in that room is exactly how I would picture Riley Howell.
His girlfriend's father says the high school sweethearts had planned a future together and were looking forward to summer break and finishing up their last year of college. He says Riley loved his daughter, and this loss is like losing his own family member.
A loving, kind, enthusiastic, great boyfriend, good big brother. I mean, that's how I remember him.
What a tragic loss. And Riley's friends have set up a GoFundMe page in his honor. If you would like to help out, we have more information over at foxcarolina.com. Live in Asheville, Brooklyn Cromer, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
Brooklyn, thanks so much. And we do want to give you a look from our Fox drone cam of the Kennedy building, where police say that shooting happened on campus yesterday afternoon. Police say the gunman intentionally chose this building, but did not specifically target the victims.
And today, the mayor of Charlotte is mourning the loss of the victims as the city looks to what will come in the days and months ahead.
We know who we are, and we know our values, and we need to stand for them. We're Charlotte. We're going to open our hearts and our minds. We're going to work hard to build this community because we are resilient. We are Charlotte.
And tonight, a huge crowd gathered on campus there at UNCCC to honor and remember those who were shot and killed.
I'm gonna put on my robe, tell the story.
It was an emotional night for thousands of students who raised their voices together in unity. They say during a time like this, they really have no choice but to stay strong and to push forward.
Now, the school held a service tonight in honor of those two students killed. And these are the names you need to remember, not so much the person who carried out this heinous crime, because he will likely go to prison and never be remembered again. These are the ones that matter. You see the two victims here who were shot and killed. These are the four who are recovering tonight. And as I mentioned, 3 of them still in critical condition. So keep those families in your prayers. Fox Carolina's Kayla Conboy continues our team coverage tonight from the University in Charlotte. So, Kayla, you were at that vigil. We saw that place was packed tonight. I can only imagine what these students had to say about these victims.
Yeah, they say really there are no words. Many of them are still in shock, never thinking it would happen here and that they would lose 2 of their own. They say that's why it's more important than ever to stay strong together, to count on each other, support each other right now. And one by one, the students started packing the arena, every seat taken, the railings lined as people tried to squeeze in. And as the chancellor spoke, together thousands wiped tears from their eyes. It was a time to reflect, to remember the lives of Ellis and Riley. The chancellor calling Riley a hero, someone who fought to save others by confronting the gunman. Fellow students say he's selfless, someone who made an impact, even if they never had a conversation.
I would see him literally every day just walking to class, and we would see each other so much that, like, we didn't know each other, but we recognized each other every time we walked past each other. So we'd exchange a smile or whatever. So every time I saw Riley, like, it was normal to see him every day because we had the class in the same general area, and we both ate on Crown like 3 times a day.
He says he's not surprised to hear Riley died being a hero, and as everyone left the arena, they grabbed a candle and lit one for Riley and the others. There's also a growing memorial here on campus right in front of that Kennedy building where the shooting did occur, and that continues to grow with candles and flowers, many just wanting to show their support and say they will remain Charlotte strong. Reporting live in Charlotte, Kayla Conboy, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
Kayla, thanks. And of course, we will have continuing coverage. We expect the suspect in court in the morning. We will have that as well as continuing coverage here tonight through 11:30. So stay with us on the air and online at foxcarolina.com.
Right now, we do want to take a look at your forecast. We have a hot and muggy day ahead for tomorrow, but we do have some rain moving in as we get closer to the weekend, too.
That's right. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent. So is the weekend looking like a washout?
Not a complete one, that's for sure, but there will be a decent chance of rain on Saturday. Tomorrow, just a 20% chance. We're looking at that better chance the second half of the day, but you could still see a sprinkle in the morning. A lot of moisture moving in, so like we saw this morning, you might see a little a little bit of mist or fog early in the morning, but we should see at least a good amount of sunshine toward midday. In the mountains, looking at 70s toward lunchtime, right around 80 at the end of the day. And then scattered storms are likely for Saturday, mainly for the afternoon hours. If you got something planned early, I think you'll be okay. And then there's still a chance of rain on Sunday, too, but doesn't look quite so bad. We'll break it all down coming up. You'll want to download our Fox Carolina News app for the latest weather information, especially when we're dealing with rain on a weekend. It's all about getting the info and getting the timing, guys.
Kendra, thanks. Well, dressed in red, thousands rally at the South Carolina State House in support of teachers. They're loud and message is very clear to lawmakers on everything from class size to school funding.
And Empire strikes back. After the case accusing him of faking an attack on himself, the show has no plans to continue Jussie Smollett's character.
Plus, in the next half hour, we're hearing from the owner of a dog shot and killed by deputies after they say they had no choice following an attack on a woman. And the dog would not let go. Welcome back. A developing story. Teachers across South Carolina converged on the State House today to demand change.
The streets of downtown Columbia were flooded with educators this morning wearing red for the all-out May 1st rally. Marchers say they want state leaders to make education a priority in the budget. They say they're grateful for the increase in teacher pay, but there's still a lot more to be done.
We want things for our children. Nothing has been done this year for our children. Class size is a huge problem. It relates directly to how they can learn. We also need mental health counselors.
The South Carolina Department of Public Safety says roughly 10,000 people attended today's rally. Fox Carolina's Jennifer Phillips was in Columbia today talking with some of those taking part in the march and rally, and she has more from the State House.
Thousands came with signs and a message demanding change. So organizers and teachers are asking for smaller classroom sizes, an increase in teacher pay, and they say state public education needs to be fully funded. From classrooms to the streets of Columbia, thousands of teachers are absent from school, but their message is they're fully present.
I've been a teacher for close to 30 years. I started in 1990.
Among the group is Marty Walker.
C for Ed.
And with the support of friends and strangers, she's taking steps to do what she can.
We want to have a voice at the table. The legislatures are making laws that we've not consulted teachers for, so that's one reason I wanted to get involved.
Members of the advocacy group SC for Ed organized this walk from the State Department of Education to the State House.
We've been so underfunded for so long, and there's so many things that need to be accomplished.
Those issues are plastered on posters and shouted through chants. Brooke Fortner is a teacher in Lawrence County School District 55.
I come from a family of teachers, and everything they do is for students, and that's what they taught me.
And from speakers at the podium,
overworked and underpaid,
to cheers from the crowd. Although Marty Walker isn't in school, this outdoor classroom taught her so much. Organizers believe at least 10,000 people attended the rally. In Columbia, Jennifer Phillips, Fox Carolina News.
Now
Now, it was a similar scene in North Carolina. This is a look at Raleigh earlier today, where thousands of teachers held signs and marched through the streets demanding better working conditions in public schools. Educators say they wanted higher wages, more staff in schools, and an expansion in Medicaid and retirement benefits. Governor Roy Cooper was even on hand and told marchers that he supports teachers and is pushing for change.
I am here today to strongly support our public school educators and to work toward making sure our children have the very best public education in the country. And you deserve the support in the many roles that you play. That means significantly better pay for all teachers and principals, including our veteran teachers and support staff.
Many schools across the Tar Heel State closed for the day because of so many teachers attending the rally, including Asheville schools.
Time now to talk weather, and Kendra's standing by with more on that. Headed into the second half of the work week, and, headed toward the weekend. Rain on the way.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have a little bit we can even see right now on Fox Radar 3D. Some scattered light shower activity. It's kind of brushing by western North Carolina. That's going to be the case into tomorrow, too. The favored area will be the farther west you live. A few spotty showers that will fade out late tonight. We're also watching a disturbance to our south around the Bahamas. This area has about a 20% chance of becoming our first named tropical system. That's over the next 5 days. So we'll keep an eye on it. Doesn't look like it would become strong or anything like that, but it could brush by the east coast as we go into early next week. Tonight, though, 62 degrees. An isolated shower can't be ruled out. It's getting muggy out there, so it could promote a random shower or a little bit of drizzle and mist later tonight. Upper 50s expected in the mountains. So in your weather headlines, isolated showers for Thursday. Most areas still dry, a little warm and muggy, too. Rain chances increase by Friday, and then Saturday, rain and storms become likely, but not all day long. I'll show you the latest Futurecast model coming up. Of course, you can always head to foxcarolina.com for your interactive radar anytime. And you can always check out our latest podcast. We actually just released a new episode on El Nino. Since we're looking at a weak El Nino pattern setting up for this summer, we'll talk a little bit about what that means for the summer and for hurricane season. But really a fun little passion project of the weather team. We like to get together and just delve in. We talk about an hour about El Nino, so we can't do that on a normal newscast. This is kind of fun.
All right, Kendra, thanks so much. We'll check it out. Well, still to come, some big names headed to the upstate for this year's BMW Charity Pro-Am, and former QB Brett Favre is headlining the group. Plus,
he was doing his job. That's what he's here for, to protect me. And I don't think he should be shot and killed for doing his job.
Why this woman says she wishes there was another option. Her reaction after her dog was shot and killed by deputies as it attacked her friend.
And rising from the ashes, tonight's Following Faith takes us to Advent United Methodist Church, where a sanctuary fire has only ignited the congregation. Welcome back. New details. The show Empire is slated to come back to Fox for another season, but actor Jussie Smollett may not be coming back with it.
Right. According to Fox Entertainment and 20th Century Fox TV, the studio extended Smollett's option for season 6, but they say they have no plans to continue his character. Smollett was written out of the last 2 episodes of this past season after the actor was charged with faking an attack on himself. Smollett denied the allegations, and charges were eventually dropped. The city of Chicago is now suing him for the cost of the investigation.
Well, R&B star and upstate native Peebo Bryson will not be performing at the Peace Center this month after suffering a heart attack. That news coming from the Peace Center today. Fox News reporting the singer had a mild heart attack on Saturday morning and was rushed to the hospital. He was born in Greenville and planned to perform at the Peace Center on the 16th. However, again, this afternoon, the venue says the concert has been canceled. Tickets automatically will be refunded. Bryson is known for such hits as Beauty and the Beast and A Whole New World. Well, still to come at 10, an upstate woman's dog attacks her friend and would not let go. Then charges at deputies responding to the scene. We'll tell you what happened next.
Plus, gathering in grief and resolving to remain strong. A vigil tonight for students at UNC Charlotte. And the message a day after 2 of their own were killed.
And Kendra over in the Weather Center looking at that Futurecast. Not looking too bad out there.
No, and this is actually for Saturday morning. Not too shabby, but look what happens through the day. Oh, but it's going to be later. We'll go through it hour by hour coming up.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news on Fox Carolina.
We have continuing coverage of the deadly shooting in Charlotte, North Carolina, where police are calling this local young man a hero. His name, Riley Howe. He's from Waynesville. He was killed at UNCC. Police say he died while trying to take down the gunman.
We talk about heroism, and you're going to give first responders, and you're going to hear about a couple professionals who are extremely heroic in their response to this incident, which obviously saved lives. What you may not hear is the first and foremost hero, as far as I'm concerned, and his name is Riley Howe.
And authorities say a former student opened fire in a building there yesterday evening. 2 students died, including Riley Howell, and 4 others were hurt. Federal authorities are now investigating. Here's a look at the alleged shooter, 22-year-old history major Tristan Terrell. He's charged with 2 counts of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder.
Now, these are the 2 men who were killed. 4 other students were also shot. 3 are in critical condition at last check. Most of them from North Carolina. 1 student was from Saudi Arabia.
19-year-old Ellis Parlier, who is from Midland, North Carolina, is there on the right. And 21-year-old Riley Howell, a 2016 graduate of T.C. Robertson High School in Buncombe County, is there on the left. It was an emotional night for thousands of students who raised their voices together in unity. They say during a time like this, they have no choice but to stay strong and push forward.
Let's stay Charlotte strong. The days ahead will be difficult, but we will emerge from them.
The school held a service tonight in honor of those 2 students who were killed, and by the time it started, there wasn't a single seat left in that auditorium.
And Fox Carolina's Kayla Conboy was there. She's live at the university tonight. So, Kayla, tell us more about this vigil. I'm sure as things start to sink in, these students have such a range of emotions.
They really do. Some of them don't even have words at this point. They're still in shock, never believing something like this would happen here and that 2 of their own would be killed. That's why they say they have to stick together in a time like this and really support each other. One by one earlier, the students started packing the arena, every seat taken, the railings lined as people tried to squeeze in. And as the chancellor spoke, together thousands wiped tears from their eyes. It was a time to reflect, to remember the lives of Ellis and Riley. The chancellor calling Riley a hero, someone who fought to save others by confronting the gunman. Fellow students say he's selfless, someone who made an impact, even if they never had a conversation.
Know him personally, but even just seeing him, seeing how he interacted with other people, he seemed like one of those people that just genuinely cared about other people, that did not care about himself. And reading the bio that I read on Instagram and on Twitter, everyone says that about him. So for him to do that, it just even shows just how important everyone else was to him and how he cared about everyone else's safety over his.
Yeah, he says he's not surprised to hear Riley died being a hero because of the smile he passed in the hallway every day. And earlier, as everyone left the arena, they grabbed a candle and lit it for Riley and the others. And there is a growing memorial outside of the building where the shooting did occur on the other side of campus over there. And it's been continuing to grow as people stopped by all day. Students, faculty, parents of other students bringing by candles and flowers, really just to show that they will continue to be Charlotte strong. Reporting live in Charlotte, Kayla Conboy, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
And as the community remains on edge, Charlotte and Mecklenburg police are looking into another shooting. While we were at that vigil tonight, we got wind of a triple shooting with one of those victims being killed. It was at the Village Apartments there just across from the campus. And we can tell you tonight, one person is dead. Of course, this put a lot of people on alert because it was so close to the campus. Comes one day after the deadly rampage there at UNCCC. Now, Mecklenburg police just tweeting out tonight, there is no threat to campus. In fact, the shooter and the gunman have no affiliation with UNCCC, and they say it happened in the Pool area. So, again, a really tragic night there at University Village Apartments, but it is not connected to the nearby campus shooting from yesterday. But, of course, we will have continuing coverage from Charlotte. Stay with us on the air and online at foxcarolina.com.
A 61-year-old woman is hospitalized tonight after being attacked by her friend's dog in Gaffney early this morning. She had to be airlifted to the hospital because of her injuries, and police were called there to by the dog's owner after she was unable to gain control of her dog during the attack. The sheriff's deputy who arrived says he has no choice or had no choice but to shoot the dog to protect himself and also the victim being attacked.
Fox Carolina's Amber Worthy is live right now in Cherokee County outside the sheriff's office with more on this attack. Amber?
Yes, the sheriff says that deputy had the right to shoot that dog after first tasing it, and it didn't stop. Now, the homeowner who owns the dog said that they believe that it could have been handled differently.
I called him myself because I couldn't get him off of him. You know, I wasn't going to let him kill him. You know, but at the same time, he was protecting me.
Sissy Painter says she called her friend over Wednesday to help her clean up, but it took a turn for the worst.
It scared her, and she went to flailing her arms up in the air and screaming, and he thought she was jumping on me, and he attacked her.
Duke, her guard dog, was on top of her friend, attacking her, leaving Sissy no choice but to call for help.
It's actually pretty good, I ain't gonna lie about it, but I mean, if he had been a burglar, if she'd have been a burglar or a rapist or something, that's exactly what I would have wanted him to do.
When deputies arrived, they say the officer used a taser first. When that failed, he shot the dog multiple times so that he could get to the victim.
And you got a victim there that we're trying to get to render aid, and we can't get up there to render aid. We can't get up there and render aid because of the aggressive dog. So absolutely, he did exactly what he should have done. He tried to use a less lethal force to start with, and that was not successful. So again, reverting to the next tool in his tool belt, he did the right thing.
The woman who was attacked had to be airlifted to the hospital after deputies say they tried to help her.
I'm really sorry, and I hate it happened like that, and I love her, and there's nothing I won't do for her. I'll help her get well any way I can.
Sissy and her mother, Brenda, say this day is one they will never forget.
Oh, my God. See, I hadn't even got to think about my mama's birthday because of this. I'm sorry. Happy birthday, Mom. He thought they ruined my mama's birthday. Like he was doing his job. That's what he's here for, to protect me. And I don't think he should be shot and killed for doing his job. How am I supposed to feel safe now?
And Sissy says her dog, Duke, was able to walk to the animal control truck to be taken away, but the sheriff's office says they did have to put that dog down due to his injuries. Now, as for the victim, the sheriff's office says that deputy, after shooting the dog, was able to put a tourniquet on the leg of the victim to stop the severe bleeding, and they say that she has several other severe injuries as well. Reporting live in Cherokee County, I'm Amber Worthy for Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
We are covering our counties here tonight. The Hillcrest High School student pictured in a racist photo on social media has been suspended and recommended for expulsion. Simpsonville police say the post did not carry any credible threats to any students. Extra patrols were on hand during the investigation. The post had an image of a student holding a gun and a poster with a threat and a racial slur. The NAACP is calling for people in Greenville County to be open to dialogue on racism and its effects. And the organization released a statement saying, in part, quote, this racial attack is at the expulsion level of the school district's zero tolerance policy. We are waiting to see the district's response and stand ready to be a part of any conversation.
Well, Union police are looking into a shooting this evening. It's the second shooting in the city in less than 24 hours. Police say a driver pulled up next to another vehicle outside Lakeside Manor Apartments on Lakeside Drive earlier tonight. They say someone inside opened fire. Now, the victim tried to get away, but actually hit another vehicle. Now, we're told no one has showed up with any gunshot wounds to a hospital there. So right now, they don't think there's a victim, and so far, no one has been arrested in this shooting. Now, there was another shooting happening this morning just before 2 a.m. Now, officers responded to South Church Street, and that's where they say they found a vehicle that had been shot up. They say that witnesses told them that someone inside a black vehicle was firing down Church Street. They then found this vehicle with busted out windows and blood in the floorboard. They say the victim was shot inside that vehicle, fortunately only shot in the foot, and was treated at a nearby hospital. No charges filed in that shooting either, and it's unclear if these two shootings are related. We have a live look from our DOT traffic camera system. The coroner on the scene along with state troopers on I-85 northbound near the Brockman-McClyman exit. That's 58. We are on the scene. This is our look right now there. We cannot confirm if there are numerous fatalities or just one. We know the coroner is there. The ambulance still on scene as well. Stay with us. We're following this breaking news story right here on the 10 o'clock news.